down for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Hey all, Rick here from Hamilton Sports Central, and we're taking a look at the last game of Week 1 as Edmonton is in Ottawa for their last season game, or season game of this week. So a couple of things. Weather has knocked the goalpost down earlier today, probably about an hour ago, so they had to go out and fix the goalposts. It's pouring like it was when we went to the first preseason game a couple of weeks ago. So now the panel is stuck in a media room. So don't be expecting a lot for today's game. There's probably not a lot of fans sitting in the stands. Would not be surprised if you see this game delayed due to weather. When I see that, I'm saying lightning. Don't be surprised if people are slipping, not catching the ball. It's going to be a very interesting game, to say the least. Now we are just waiting for the game to begin. I'm just glad I gotta change the banner. I'm just glad when we did it, ours was in preseason and not regular season. That's what I'm pumped for. As they sing the national anthem in the pouring down rain. Then just gotta wait for the other end of the commercial, and then we can get rocking. Ronnie Barand, Grand Prairie, Alberta. Two returns and you get $1 million. Well, I'm telling you right now, you ain't getting a return in this weather. And the cameras are already covered in rain already, so this is going to be interesting. .48th career CFL start for Jake Maier, his Redblacks debut. His 87th start for Cody Fajardo, and he's 9-1 versus the Redblacks. Mark Killam is 7-1, 7-11, and his second season as a head coach for Redblacks. Ryan Dinwiddie is 51-35, and he's making his Redblacks debut. So Blanchard kicks off 68 yards to the Ottawa 12. Pimpleton returns 16 yards to the Ottawa 28. Jake Maier went 1-1 last season, 64.4% completion, 617 yards, and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions to go along with 21 rushing yards. Jake Maier throws to Elijah Collins for 5 yards to the Ottawa 33. So it's going to be 2nd and 5 at the Ottawa 33. So this is what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do short passes so that the ball doesn't slip out of the player's hands because of how bad the ball can get slippery. So Vaccaro, first round pick in this year's draft, first overall, is starting at right guard. Offside Everhart, 5 yards. So going back from the Ottawa 33 to the Ottawa 28. So now it's going to be 2nd and 10. So basically that pass to Collins basically got them nowhere because of that penalty. And Andre Pruitt is the ref for tonight. Maier pass complete to Elijah Collins, caught at the Ottawa 30 for 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 8. So the punter is going to be coming out and punting for Ottawa. Javon Lee gets it at his 28. And there's a flag. As we go to TV timeout, and Cody Fajardo is coming on the field. Do. Bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. So Getman punts for 56 yards to Edmonton 24. Javon Leake returns for 17 yards to Edmonton 41. And it's a penalty on Edmonton for a hold. So the return is 10 yards. So they go back 10 yards from the Edmonton 30 to the Edmonton 20. So Cody Fajardo, 6 for 7, 73.2 yards completion, 3,408 yards. And I missed the touchdowns and completions from last year. Rankin rushes for 15 yards to Edmonton 35. And it gets a first down. Gain of 15. Let's go. Fajardo passes to S. Griffith for 9 yards to Edmonton 44. They're saying he was down with contact. Schneider rushes for 1 yard to the Edmonton 45. Wakefield with the tackle, so it's going to be a first down for Edmonton. Fajardo completes to Cephas for 7 yards to Edmonton 52. A.J. Allen with the tackle and a slippery slope. Justin Rankin rushes for 7 yards to the Ottawa 51. Tackled by S. Brown. First down, Edmonton. So we have gone through almost 3 minutes on this run already. Fajardo throws to Austin Mack, incomplete, broken up by Demario Houston. So it's 2nd and 10 at the Ottawa 51. Fajardo throws to Brendan Leary Orange for 5 yards to the Ottawa 46. So it's going to be 3rd and 5. Julian punts for 30 yards to the Ottawa 16. Pimpleton returns it for 1 yard loss to the Ottawa 15. Anderson with the tackle. Do. I appreciate everyone who's joined us for this live stream. We are now at 29 viewers. Jake Mayer passes to Pimpleton for a 1 yard loss to the Ottawa 14. Kendall Jackson with the tackle, so it's going to be 2nd and 11 at the 14-yard line. Like I said, it's going to be a sloppy game. Don't be expecting a high score like the previous couple of nights have been. Wouldn't be surprised that both teams scored under 15 points tonight. Just saying. Jake Mayer throws to Pimpleton for 7 yards to the Ottawa 21. So it's going to be 3rd and 4. Nick Anderson with the tackle. Getman punts for 51 yards to the Edmonton 38. Javon Leake returns for 19 yards to the Ottawa 53. Fajardo throws to Austin Mack for 4 yards to the Ottawa 49, so it's going to be 2nd and 6. DeMario Houston with the tackle. Fajardo rushes for 7 yards to the Ottawa 42. CJ Rivas with the tackle. Roughing the pass, or CJ Rivas 15 yards from the Ottawa 42 to the Ottawa 27. 1st down, Elks. Just waiting to hear what the flag is. Rankin rushes for 17 yards to the 10. There's holding on Edmonton, face mask on Ottawa, so it goes up 5 yards to make the difference. So it's going to be 1st and 5 for Fajardo. Passes to Rankin for 2 yards to the Ottawa 20. DeMario Houston with the tackles. So it's going to be 2nd and 3 from the Ottawa 20. There's a flag on the play. As Fajardo throws to Larry Orange for a loss of a few yards. So it was for 0 yards on the catch. However, Niles Morgan gets a 15-yard face mask penalty, so it goes from the 20 to the 5. Carter O'Donnell is also the injured Elk on the play. So it was a face mask on a different player, not even on Brandon Larry Orange. Red zone efficiency 66.7% for the Elks. Cody Fajardo rushes for 1 yard gain to the Ottawa 4. A.J. Allen with the tackles. It's going to be 2nd and 4 on the 4. Should have lofted over to Rankin, but Cody Fajardo passes incomplete to Keon Julian Grant. So it's 3rd and 4 at the 4. Should just ran with Rankin. Get taken out by the sign in the end zone. As he falls inside the sign, which is hilarious. So Bouchard kicks a field goal for 12 yards. So they get a field goal. So that makes it 1, 2, 3. Not sure. 12 field goal. Zero. We'll get that going at the bottom. So next week, we have Thursday's game, Hamilton in Winnipeg. So I'll have that on the channel as well. There is let me just double check actually, you know what? I can check on here. So, oops, what am I doing? I can just pop up here. Friday, I'll probably have the Toronto-Montreal game. And then Saturday is going to be a nice beauty BC at Saskatchewan. So 3:27 left in the first quarter. As we have actually, you know what? I want to see if and don't forget to like and subscribe as well if you like what you see. So they're going to take it off at the 40 because they kicked the field goal, so they're not going to take the kickoff, which is usually the thing when you have weather like this. So Elijah Collins rushes for 5 yards to gain to the Ottawa 45, so it's 2nd and 5. Oh, I guess I should click that. So under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Mara throws incomplete, so it's 3rd and 5 from the 45. So now there's going to be a punter coming on. See, this is what I mean. Everyone's like, oh, Jake Mara, did well against Montreal's defense in the preseason. But don't forget, preseason teams will use vanilla offense and defense. So it's just like bare minimum plays. You won't see much of the normal playbook. So now you're going to see some difference in today's game with the rain. And as you can see, Jake Mara hasn't been doing well. Because they're 0-2 on 2 possessions so far. Oh, sorry. That was their 3rd possession. Edmonton has 3 points off of 2 possessions. This will be the 3rd. Do, 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 do. Ooh, there's a flag on the play. So does Ottawa stay on the field? So Getman punts 56 yards. Leak returns for 8. Unnecessary roughness. Edmonton for 15 yards from the 45 to the 50. So first down. So Ottawa's still on offense here. That's a big penalty right there. Because you could have had your offense on the field. Elijah Collins rushes for 3 yards to the Edmonton 47. Brinkman with the tackle. So it's 2nd and 7. Those players all probably smell like a wet dog. Jake Mara throws incomplete to Justin Hardy. However, there's an offside. Edmonton 5 yards from the 47 to the 42. No play, so it's going to be 2nd and 2. Elijah Collins rushes for 3 yards to Edmonton 39. So Mike Carney with the tackle. So it's going to be a first down, Redblacks. So Daniel Adnaboye had that rush, not Elijah Collins. First and 10 at the Edmonton 39. Mayer pass to Justin Hardy for 8 yards to Edmonton 31. Williams with the tackle, so it's going to be 2nd and 2. Daniel Adnaboye rushes for 1 yard to the Edmonton 30. Kobe Williams with the tackle, so it's going to be 3rd and 1. So end of the first quarter. So let's change this to second quarter. Projector was missing from his office and that someone stole it, please. Give your head a shake. Oh, wow. Edmonton wanted to go rush, and they fumbled it, and Edmonton picked up the ball. Kendall Jackson with the fumble recovery. So Max Duggan. So when the center went to go snap the ball, he missed the quarterback. Fajardo passes Mack for 12 yards to Edmonton 49. S. Brown with the tackle. First down, Montreal. Fajardo passes incomplete to Rankin to the Edmonton 43. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 at the Edmonton 49. Yo! 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 As the center goes. Fajardo is 6 for 9 for 39 yards. Fajardo rushes for 3 yards to Edmonton 52. Niles Morgan with the tackle. A fun fact is Niles Morgan used to play for Edmonton last year. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 at the Edmonton 52. Fry, the injured player on the play. Cody Fajardo wants a flag for that high tackle. Second and outs in 2025, Edmonton was 37.5% of the time, which was 9th in the league. Fry was an injured Redblack. Edmonton punts it to Pimpleton. So there's a flag on the play. Jake Mayer and the offense comes back on the field after a quick 2 and out. Julian punts for 40 yards to Ottawa 18, out of bounds. So Edmonton gets an illegal punt from Jake Julian for 10 yards. So it goes from the 18-yard line to the 28, and that's where the Ottawa Redblacks will be starting. You know what? I'm curious to see what Jake Mayer is tonight so far. Jake Mayer is 5 for 6 for 21 yards. Justin Hardy has the most yards, 1 for 1 for 8. Jake Mayer went 16 for 23, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Daniel Adnaboye rushes for 2 yards to gain to the Ottawa 30, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. Mayer passes to Keelan White for 14 yards to the Ottawa 44. R. Smith with the tackle, so it's going to be a first down Redblacks at Ottawa 44-yard line. Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Eugene Lewis at the Ottawa 50. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the Ottawa 44. Jake Mayer throws to Keelan White again for 9 yards to the Ottawa 53. Nick Anderson with the tackle, so it's going to be 3rd and 1 at the Ottawa 53. Nick Anderson's the injured Elk on the play. It's weird because he doesn't look injured. Oh, he has bleeding coming from his finger. Oh, well, he has to come out for 3 plays. He hurt his nail on his finger, so he has to come out for 3 plays because medical staff went out on the field. Wow, it's going to be turnover on downs. They went for it on 3 and 1. Adnaboye rushes for 3 yards, lost to the Ottawa 50. Malik Kearney with the tackle. The problem is Ottawa should not have been in the shotgun. They should have been behind the center and gone forward. They would have had the first down. Dun, dun. So that's twice now that they've turned over the ball. Justin Rankin rushes for 1 yard to the Ottawa 49. Now, listen, if Ottawa could not take, if Edmonton cannot take advantage of this, then Edmonton is just as bad. That's 2 turnovers now. And if you can't get points off of this either, you are just trash. Like, I don't even know what else to say. So it's 2nd and 9 at the Ottawa 49. Fajardo throws to Luther for 39 yards to Ottawa 10. As I say, that. And Cody Fajardo throws a touchdown to Austin Mack for 10 yards to the Ottawa end zone. So we have a JP Power from Windsor. How's it going, my friends? We have a little graph for a Edmonton touchdown. As Edmonton just made me eat my words. So it's now 10-0. In this very sloppy, raining, horrible game. This is why, if you watch the season preview that me and the analyst desk did, I told them Ottawa was going to be 4th in the East, and Ottawa is playing like garbage. How do you go shotgun in 3-1, 3rd and 1? You do not go shotgun on 3rd and 1. I honestly don't know what they were thinking. As we got commercials going. Sign up and draft your team today. Yeah, well, we're in week 1 already. Some of us have already drafted our team. Blanchard kicks off for 66 yards to the Ottawa 14. Pimpleton returns it for 21 yards to the Ottawa 35. Wow. Ottawa turns over the ball again. So Mara throws to Collins for 4 yards, and Collins fumbles, and DeBlanco recovers. So that is their third big turnover today. And Fajardo throws incomplete to Julian Grant. Fajardo passes to Rankin for 23 yards to the Ottawa 16. Niles Morgan with the tackle. It's going to be a first down, Ottawa.
This is yours.
Okay.
Did you take one of your mother's water bottles out of the fridge? No.
Yeah, it was, unless it's in my room, but where did I had it somewhere.
Okay, I'm just wondering. I just wondered because I know how many's in there. I took all the them up. Those a few, that's why I brought them down so that nobody else eats them. Okay, when you come across it, could be in your car too.
Could be in my trunk.
So that's why they're down here for you.
Okay. So Cody Fajardo passes incomplete to Julian Grant, and then he passes to Brandon Larry Orange for 5 yards to the Ottawa 11. Williams with the tackle, and then Blanchard kicks an 18-yard field goal. What's that? Probably. Yard. Total. So it's 13-0. Jake Mayer rushes for 7 yards to Ottawa 47. 2nd and 3. Ottawa's challenging the high hit on Jake Mayer. So they have roughing the passer. So they go from 15 yards from Ottawa 47 to Edmonton 48. And then Jake Mayer throws to Daniel Adnaboye for 5 yards to Edmonton 43. DeBlanco with the tackle. Jake Mayer throws to Keelan White for 11 yards to Edmonton 32. Logan Jr. with the tackle. It's going to be a first down for Ottawa Redblacks. There's a flag on the play. Mayer throws to Eugene Lewis. So it's going to be defensive pass interference on Edmonton. So it's going to be a 10-yard penalty. So you go from the Edmonton 32 to the Edmonton 22 on a 5-yard pass. But it's a no play. Daniel Adnaboye rushes for 12 yards to Edmonton 10. Jackson with the tackle. So it's going to be a first down Ottawa. So now is this the turning point? Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. So it's a 3-minute warning. Jake Mayer throws to Justin Hardy. Jackson with the tackle, so it's going to be holding Ivy 10 yards from the 10 to the 20. So there's going to be no play, so it's going to be 1st and 20. Ten yard penalty. Jake Mayer passes to Eugene Lewis, but it's incomplete. But there's defensive pass interference. Tyrell Ford, 19 yards from Edmonton 20 to the Edmonton 1st down. So they're on the Edmonton 1. Denyon Boye rushes for 0 yards to Edmonton 1. DeBlanco with the tackle. Wow, they're going gun again. Well, at least it works this time. Daniel Naboy rushes for 1 yard into the end zone for a touchdown. Redblacks. Brett Lothar with the extra point. Apparently, that's a Ryan Dinwiddie thing that goes in shotgun and short yardage. Brett Lothar goes out for the kickoff. Brett Lothar kicks it off for 68 yards to the Edmonton 12. Leak returns it for 22 yards to Edmonton 34. Williams with the tackle, out of bounds. Rankin rushes for 4 yards to Edmonton 38. Edmonton is offside Jordan Murray. 5 yards from the Edmonton 38 to the Edmonton 33, no play. So it will be a 2nd and 11 from the Edmonton 33. Minute 55 left in the second quarter. Fajardo is sacked for 9 yards. Bryce Carter down to the Edmonton 24. So 3rd and 20. Julian punts 56 yards to the Ottawa 30. Pimbleton returns it for 4 yards to the Ottawa 34. Noah Taylor with the tackle out of bounds. Jake Mayer almost threw an interception. Mayer throws incomplete to Hardy, broken up by DeBlanco. 2nd and 10 at the Ottawa 34. Offside, Eberhardt, 5 yards from the Ottawa 34 to the Ottawa 29. That's his second penalty tonight. Mira throws incomplete to Eugene Lewis at the Edmonton 54, so it's going to be 3rd and 15. Thank you for all those people who's thrown a like on the video today. Muchly appreciated. So tomorrow we should start to see the injury reports for Thursday's game between Hamilton and Winnipeg. And there's a flag on the play. Getman punts for 40 yards to Edmonton 41. Javon Leake with a 5-yard return to Edmonton 46. John with the tackle. So there's no infraction on play. An offside procedure on Burton Cron, 5-yard penalty. Edmonton 46 to Edmonton 41. Oh, now they changed it to Brendan Bordner. So they're only down by 6, which could be 2 field goals. Which is what, because each team's had a touchdown. All Ottawa needs to do is just score one more play, and the game's tied. So Fajardo throws incomplete, so it's going to be 2nd and 15. So there's a penalty on Edmonton for intentional grounding. So 2nd and 18. Cody Fajardo pass incomplete to Justin Rankin. Broken up by Al Ajli. I apologize if I butcher that name. Throws his big paw. Making him sound like a bear. Jake Julian punts for 65 yards to the Ottawa 7. Pimpleton returns for 22 yards to the Ottawa 29. Noah Taylor with the tackle. So you got 46 yards to get some points. Actually, 34 seconds to get some points. Daniel Adnaboye rushes for 14 yards to Ottawa 43. Garney's with the tackle. So it's going to be a first down, Ottawa at the 43-yard line. With 28 seconds left. Need at least 20 yards. And there we go. Read my mind. Mayer throws to Pimpleton for 26 to the Edmonton 41 with, what are we at? 20 yards? Or 15 seconds left. So you can get a couple of plays off. Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Keelan White, which would have been a 6-yard pass.
Ottawa, if I was the coach of Ottawa, I would have thrown the flag and challenged that play. That should have been pass interference on Montreal or Edmonton. It was the same thing that Montreal got called in the Hamilton game.
Oh, wow.
They're all sitting up out of the rain, hating all that.
Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Keelan White. And then Daniel Adnaboye rushes for 13 yards to the Edmonton 28. It's going to be a first down, Ottawa. McEwen is an injured Redblack on the field. He is their center. So, Brett Lothar, what was it? Brett Lothar kicks a 35-yard field goal to move him within 3. So let's change this up. Oh, and we forgot to do a Redblacks field goal. So let's take a look at the team stats first, and then we'll take a look at the player stats. So right now, Edmonton has 116 yards off of 16 passes for 7.3 yards on average, whereas Ottawa has 90 yards on 16 passes for 5.6. Edmonton has 39 rushing yards on 8 carries for 4.9, while Ottawa has 55 yards on 13 carries for 4.2. Edmonton has 1 loss for 9 yards. Net offense for 146 yards for 26 plays. Average of 5.6. There is a 145 yards, 30 plays, 4.8 for Ottawa. So it's four extra plays. 4 rushes for 4 passes and 1 penalty for Ottawa. 3 rushes for a first down, 5 passes for a first down, and 3 penalties. Ottawa has 1 sack for 9 yards. Edmonton has 0 sacks. On second downs, Edmonton is 6 for 12 for 50%. Ottawa is 5 for 11 for 45.5%. Ottawa has 2 fumbles for giveaways, and they've lost 2. Edmonton has 11 penalties for 107 yards, whereas Ottawa has 6 penalties for 65 yards. Edmonton is 1 for 3 for 33.3% in the red zone, whereas Ottawa is 1 for 1 for 100 yards. And just give me 1 second. So the Edmonton has 0 fumbles for 4 yards, and Ottawa has 2 fumbles for 0 yards. I don't know how you could have 0 fumbles for 4 yards. Edmonton is 2 for 2 for 18 yards on field goals. Ottawa is 1 for 1 for 35. Edmonton has 4 punts for 191 yards for 47.8 yards, while Ottawa has 3 punts for 147 yards on an average of 49 yards. Edmonton has 3 punts for 30 yards, 3 punt returns for an average of 10, as Ottawa has 3 punt returns for 25 yards and an average of 8.3. 1 kickoff for Edmonton for 22 yards, 2 kickoffs for 37 yards, and an 18.5 for kickoff. And then time of possession for Edmonton is 15 minutes and 58 seconds, whereas time of possession for Ottawa is 14 seconds, or 14 minutes and 2 seconds. Ooh, Chez throwing some shots at Calgary. BC Lions Saturday in Saskatchewan. That'll be interesting. Banner raising night in Saskatchewan. Chad Kelly makes his season debut after not playing for a year and a half in Montreal, where he broke his leg. So we have, I was going to look at the numbers. Cody Fajardo, 10 of 16, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Rankin has 4 carries for 27 yards. Cody Fajardo has 3 carries for 11 yards. And Cole Schneider has 1 carry for 1 yard. TJ Luther, 1 for 1 for 39 yards. Austin Mack, 3 for 4, 26 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Rankin, 2 passes on 4 attempts for 25 yards. And Brendan O'Leary Orange, 2 passes on 2 attempts for 10 yards. This guy right here has to have a better second half if Edmonton wants to win. Defense-wise, Mike Carney and Cordell Jackson both have a fumble recovery. No sacks. Blanchard is 2 for 2 on field goals. Longest is 18, 1 extra point. For Ottawa, we have Jake Mara, 11 for 16, 90 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Average of 5.6. Daniel Adnaboye, 9 carries for 43 yards. Not bad for 9 carries. Because average about 5 to 6 yards is about average. 1 touchdown, longest was 14. Elijah Evans, 2 carries for 8 yards. Average of 4. Jake Mayer, 1 rush for 7 yards. And then Max Duggan, 1 rush for -3 yards. Keelan White leads the way for 3 receptions on 4 attempts for 34 yards. Kaylee Pimpleton, 3 for 3 on 32 yards. And Elijah Collins, 3 for 3 on 11 yards. Your 2 big receivers, Eugene Lewis, 0 for 3, no catches yet. And Justin Hardy is 1 for 2 for 8 yards. If you're Edmonton and you want to be able to step up your game and win this, you got to get the ball to your top 2 receivers if you want to have a chance. Let me take... Trying to see if Walter kicks off for 65 yards. Isaiah Knight returns it for 25 yards to the Edmonton 40. And we have a penalty on Edmonton for holding, so they go from the 33 to the 23. So for the Redblacks, there's 19 players making their Redblacks debut. 42% of the opening roster was not on the active roster last year. Interesting. Javon Leake rushes for a 4-yard loss to Edmonton 19. Brown with the tackle. I'm just trying to see if...
Let's go. Come on, Milo. Come on. Milo, let's go.
Don't see anything on Twitter about
Come on.
Anderson being injured.
Milo, let's go.
Third quarter. Fajardo passes to Rankin for 63 yards to the Ottawa 28. A.J. Allen with the tackle. Rivas with the tackle, so it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Ottawa 28. Rankin rushes for 2 yards to the Ottawa 26. Nels Morgan with the tackle. Fajardo passes to Julian Grant for 6 yards to Ottawa 20. Brown with the tackle. So it's 3rd and 2 at the Ottawa 20. So Blanchard's going out for a 27-yard field goal attempt. And a flag on the play. Blanchard kicks the 27-yard field goal is good. Penalty on Ottawa for pyramiding. 10 yards. So because it's pyramided and it's a 10 yards and they're 3 and 2, 3rd and 2, it's now going to be a 1st down for Edmonton. So that field goal means nothing now. Fajardo passes to Cyprus for 6 yards to the Ottawa 4. Fajardo pass is incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd and 4 from the 4. So basically, you move up 16 yards and you just re-kick again. Again, they've had chances to get the job done, and they couldn't get the job done on turnovers and penalties. So we got to add a 11-yard field goal to make it 16. JB Power from Windsor says fire. I don't know if you call this game fire, because this game's been atrocious. Both sides. For multiple different reasons. Edmonton can't stop getting penalties. Edmonton can't score on turnovers. They've had 4 chances now. They just had a chance to redeem themselves on that field goal to get a touchdown. They couldn't get that done. Ottawa's turned over the ball 3 times, and they can't hold on to it. So Jake Mayer throws to Eugene Lewis for a 1-yard loss to the Ottawa 39. So it's going to be 2nd and 11. Jackson with the tackle. Eugene Lewis and Justin Hardy are playing like dog doo-doo tonight. Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Eugene Lewis. So it's going to be 3rd and 11. Here we go again. A quick 2 and out. And, yeah. You know what, to be honest, it would not surprise me if we saw Drew Brown come in. 12 for 18, 89 yards, no touchdowns. It honestly would not surprise me if we see Drew Brown. Getman punts for 42 yards. Javon Leake returns it for 36 to Ottawa 45. Brian Cole with the tackle. Like, it's... both sides are brutal in this game. Let's just put it that way. Fajardo throws to Keon Julian Grant for 25 yards to the Ottawa 20. Williams with the tackle. Fajardo throws incomplete to Griffith. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the Ottawa 20. Fajardo throws incomplete, 2nd and 10. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 at the Ottawa 20. Blanchard kicks a 27-yard field goal to make it 19-10 for Edmonton. So let's... So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 field goals that he scored tonight. He's pretty much scored all your points. outside of a Fajardo to Austin Mack touchdown. And even then, Blanchard still scores that extra point on that touchdown. So he's definitely gotten you all your points. Well, most of them. I'd say 95% of the points. So next weekend we have Edmonton, Calgary, and Ottawa on buys. Well, we have Hamilton at Winnipeg, Toronto at Montreal, and BC at Saskatchewan. Daniel Adnaboye rushes for 30 yards to Edmonton 40. J.J. Ross with the tackle. And then Daniel Adnaboye rushes for another 3 to the Edmonton 37. DeBlanco with the tackle. So it's 2nd and 7 at the Edmonton 37. Jake Mara throws incomplete to Aiden Eberhardt, so it's 3rd and 7 from the 37. Ottawa time count before a 3-minute warning during convert goes back from Edmonton 37 to Edmonton 42. With that penalty, the punter comes in now, and Getman punts for 44 yards to the Edmonton out of bounds. Scott White says, I'm getting pissed with this new fantasy format. Too many issues. Scott, what's your issues? Because I haven't had a single one. So I'm curious to see what your issues that you are having are. So let me see if I can. Actually, no, I'll bring it over on this screen while we're at a commercial. Game zone. So are you talking about like season long? Speaker got me 3 points. Sneed got me 31. Oliveira. Of course, Lewis isn't getting anything. I would be pissed if Drew Brown actually came in today. Does this person have any players this week? Authors for Hardy has 1. White has 6. So it's basically half his team. No, but like what I'm asking is like what issues are you having? Because I haven't had any. Rankin rushes for 14 yards to Edmonton 54. So the only actual one-time concern that I had was last Sunday when every Bob, Jim Smith, and their uncle was trying to do fantasy at like 10:30 at night. Obviously, it's going to be super slow when there's everyone in the world trying to do their fantasy at that time. Because I can remember when I did my first fantasy that day at 6:00 in the afternoon, I had no problems with it that day. There's players in my league with hundreds or a point. I mean, eventually it will fix itself. I mean, Montreal had 17 points because of how well they did against Hamilton. I mean, it all depends on their lineup. Like, obviously, if you have Davis Alexander with Sneed and Oliveira, you're going to have, what, almost 70 points. Fajardo throws to Brendan Larry Orange for 5 yards to the Ottawa 44. Niles Morgan with the tackle. So it's going to be a first down, Elks. Rankin rushes for 0 yards to the Ottawa 44. Niles Morgan with the tackle. Like, are you talking like player stats or like team stats? Because usually, like, even if I do like the weekly will always have let's see if I can pick one. Like this one will always have corrections added to it. Because sometimes after a game, players get stats changes and stuff like that, so they obviously have to make corrections. Fajardo throws to Austin Mack, incomplete. Revis with the tackle, and there's a penalty on the play. Okay, so you're saying that Montreal is only supposed to have... So, I'm I'm sure they'll change it. Yeah, I think they'll, by tomorrow, once they get all the numbers and everything, I'm sure that it will be changed by the end of the season, or by the end of tomorrow. Because, like I said, even the weekly one, there's always stat corrections on points and whatnot. So, penalty on Edmonton for an illegal block. So Julian punts it to the Ottawa 8. Pimpleton returns it for 31 yards. The Ottawa 39 Pace with the tackle. No. That's not what I'm saying, Scott. What I'm saying is every fantasy, I've even been in hockey ones, like there's always going to be stat corrections after the games are over. So by Monday or Tuesday or even tomorrow, there will be changes to those points. Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Eugene Lewis. Daniel Alverson in Ottawa to support the Redblacks. It would not surprise me if we saw Drew Brown by the end of this game. Because, I mean, Jake Mayer, we are now at what? 12 for 21 for 89 yards. Like, how is Drew Brown not in? Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Keelan White to the Ottawa 41. Broken up by Logan Jr. Like, how is Drew Brown not in? Like, I would have made the switch at halftime, to be honest, if I was Ryan Dinwiddie. He must not be happy with Drew Brown. That's why Jake Mayer is still staying in. JD Power from Windsor, thank you for the donation, my friend. Muchly appreciated. Getman punts for 61 yards to the Edmonton 10. Giovanni Leake with a 17-yard return to the Edmonton 27. So, let me ask you this. When you go to your team, did you change this from 26 to 25 to 26? Because I've changed all my lines. I've not had any of my players change to buys. Leak rushes for 6 yards to Edmonton 33. Tala with the tackle. Maybe your team's just haunted. I'm kidding. But yeah, I honestly do not know why yours would be doing that. I know when I first drafted my team, I had to move players around because some were on the buy, so I had to move players around and whatnot. Scott says, I wonder how much of a big leash Chad Kelly gets before Arbuckle goes in. I would say I would at least give him 3 games. 3-4 games minimum. Fajardo passes to Luther for 9 yards to the Edmonton 42. DeMario Houston with the tackle. It's going to be a first down Elks. Yeah, I would say, so it's the end of the third quarter. Edmonton leads 19-10. Yeah, I would say because hold on, let me look at their schedule because I'm actually quite curious. So they have, I know it looks big because I haven't zoomed in for this. So they have Montreal, Ottawa. Ottawa, that one should be a win 100%. Saskatchewan. That's a Toronto home game in Saskatchewan, so I don't know about that. Toronto at Calgary, maybe. Toronto at Winnipeg. With as loud as Winnipeg gets, that one I don't think, especially with it being in Winnipeg. And then the 18th. I would say with those 6 games, I could see them going 3-3. You know what, Scott? I basically I said it and forget about it. There's no point in me checking during the game of who has what points. I just, even with the weekly one, I just set my team and then I go on. And so Edmonton has 237 passing yards, 57 rushing for a net of 285 in 26 minutes and 27 seconds. Ottawa has 89 passing, 88 rushing for 177 in 18 minutes and 33 seconds. The problem is Edmonton has not capitalized on the turnovers that Edmonton has given them, or Ottawa has given them. And this game should be a blown away game by now. Oh, I gotta change my banner because it's the 4th quarter. Ooh, Mark's Stone scores for the Vegas Golden Knights. So it's going to be a flag on the play. Oh, it clotheslines him. Unnecessary roughness on Ottawa. So both teams. So Fajardo passes to Luther. Demario Houston gets a 15-yard penalty. So they go from the Edmonton 47 to the Ottawa 48. So between two, what are we at now? We have to be something close. We are almost at 200 yards between both teams. Like, that's retarded. Justin Rankin rushes for 4 yards to Ottawa 44. Williams with the tackle. Second and 6 from the Ottawa 44. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time count violation. Fajardo passes to Larry Orange for 3 yards to Ottawa 41. Demario Houston with the tackle. Sean White says on NFL Fantasy, you usually have to lock your guys in. I like to take a look at it during the game. No, I get with what you're saying. You know, sometimes, like the weekly one, I always like to, even when I'm at the CFL. So usually when I'm at the games in Hamilton, I usually will sit there in the stands. I'll have my phone open on the play-by-play and looking at the stats to see what my players have. Oh, you say, ooh, the Stone goal got called back. That's interesting. If I'm not mistaken, is it not? This is what, game 3? Yeah, game 3, 1-1. Ooh. Vegas with 3 shots. Like, come on. 23 hits in 2 periods and 9 face-off wins out of 19. That's not good. So we are... Oh, I don't have it open. I might have to go to my Google Sheets roster page. Last time I looked at this earlier. So Highmore, this is the Hamilton AHL team. So Highmore signed a 2-year AHL deal. So he'll be most likely with Cole Eisenman, who was, I think, one of the first round. Cole Eisenman of, like, I'm still good. Yeah, so he was a first round pick in 24, 20th overall. You know what? Okay, so Eklund and Atkinson. So Atkinson will be a top, either first line or second line with Warren, or he'll be moved and put with someone else that they sign as a free agent. But it'll be interesting to see how the AHL team does this upcoming season. And I'm getting seasons, so I'll be able to go to the games. So Julian punts it for 39 yards to Ottawa 2. Pimpleton returns it for 10 yards to Ottawa 12. 12:57 left in the game. Jake Mayer throws to Eberhardt for 7 yards to the Ottawa 19, so it's 2nd and 3. Nick Anderson with the tackle. Mayer sacked for 5 yards at the Ottawa 14. Noah Curtis with the sack. Again, I'm curious. So you said, I don't know how Mayer only has 3 points on my end. He's thrown no picks. So Cody Fajardo has 245 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 rushes. Mayer has 1 carry for 90 and 96 yards passing. Like, he is playing like dog doo-doo today. So he's 13 for 22. That's why he only has 3 points. Because you probably because they do it by point something per yard. Actually, no, I'll look for you. Rules. Okay, so passing yards is 1 point per 10. And that's rushing yards. And then it's 1 point per 25. So he's, what did I say he was? So he's not quite at the 10 for the He'll get another 10 yards once he gets, or another point once he gets those 3 yards. Justin Rankin rushes for 61 yards to the end zone for a touchdown. Elks. So we're at what? 26-10. Ranking rushing touchdown. You know what I'd like to know is what's with all these rushing touchdowns? Like we have what? One pass and one rushing. And one rushing. So it's in one pass, one rush. Ottawa, one rush. Let me look into this because I'm curious about something. Last night we had Winnipeg, one pass. Touchdown. Okay, and then we go down to the Hamilton one. Charles Hamilton. Davis had 2 pass. And Hamilton had 3 rush. So we have what, 1? So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rushing. 3, 4, 5 passing. So we have 10 rushing and 5 passing touchdowns in 3 games. Like usually the CFL has more passing touchdowns than they do rushing touchdowns. What did they say? 10 rushing and 5 passing in 2 3/4 games. Touchdowns. 5 touchdowns in 3.5 games. 3/4. 2 games and 3/4. 2 games and 3/4 of a game. any Elks fans here? So there's 42 people watching, 35 on X, 7 on YouTube. I don't know if there's any, or if people are just secretly watching and not commenting. So Jake Mayer throws to Eugene Lewis for 8 yards. So it'd be 2nd and 2. And then Adnaboye rushes for 11 yards. Williams with the injured player on that play. And then Jake Mayer throws to Eberhardt for 25 yards to Edmonton 27. Jake Mayer, it's too late, my friend. I mean, you got 9. Oh, there's more. Throws incomplete to Justin Hardy for. So it's going to be making it 2nd and 10. Hardy hasn't. I don't even think Hardy has caught a pass today. Sorry, Hardy's 1 for 3. Eugene Lewis 2 for 7. So Jake Mayer throws to Pimpleton. Ottawa's challenging field a defensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed. Standing on the field. I would say that is defensive pass interference. But that's just me. So it says, I really hope we get a team in Quebec City or Halifax in the next few years. So interesting thing, Scott. I'm actually going to Ottawa in 2 weeks to go see Toronto play Ottawa. It's going to be the 1:00 game on Saturday. And then so I'm driving down there and then driving back. Ooh, there's no defensive pass interference. Interesting. The way that it looked like it was defensive pass interference. So Lothar kicks a 34-yard field goal. Our 34-yard field goal. Where are we here? Redblacks 13. $34-yard field goal. Save. There we go. 26-13. So they're down by 2 scores. 8:14 left. I've seen a lot worse. As you can tell with the last 2 games, last night and Thursday, no lead is a safe lead until the quarter's over. Oh, there's the Adnaboye family. Justin Leake rushes for 2 yards to the Edmonton 42. Fajardo passes to Luther for 5 yards, and it's face mask. Rivas, 15 yards from the Edmonton 47 to the Ottawa 48, and it's going to be a first down. Like, I don't know what's with the face masks. That and the defensive pass interference today. Like, it's... Money well spent, please. Woodmansey is not worth $300,000. Jordan Murray, I don't even know what you're paying him. He just takes dumbass penalties. Fajardo throws to Julian Grant for 10 yards at Ottawa 36. Niles Morgan with the tackle. It's going to be a first down, Elks. Javon Leake rushes for 2 yards to the Ottawa 34. David Beard is now injured. That's their center. And we have... How many points does Cody Fajardo have at this point? I'm scared to look. Cody Fajardo has... Give me 1 second. Let me look at the guy that a buddy of mine that I'm playing in my one league, and I can tell you, because he has Cody Fajardo. So let me go back to my list of leagues. I just want to go to leagues. My list of leagues. I guess I gotta go this way. Okay, here we go. We want this one, and we want this one. Fajardo has 14. Rankin has 27. Mac has 11, and Blanchard has 14. Javon Leake rushes for 2 yards. Ottawa's 34, and now Coulter Woodmansey is injured. Fajardo passes to Rankin for a 3-yard loss to the Ottawa 37. Niles Morgan with the tackle. And JB Power from Windsor is throwing up some footballs. So it's going to be interesting to see Thursday when Winnipeg plays Hamilton. Because Hamilton plays Tim White and used to play on the team last year. So does that mean that both of them were injured? Okay, so it wasn't Baird, it was Woodmansey. Blanchard kicks another field goal, and it's good, but there's flags on the play. Scott says I dropped Leak in one of my leagues. Bad move. So, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you get return yards. Special teams. Kick and return. So I guess because Rankin has his points, I'm sure they'll start playing League for a bit. So Blanchard kicked a 44-yarder, so we got to put that on the banner. And then unnecessary roughness, Noah Curtis, 15 yards. So wherever they start, so because they kicked a field goal, they're going to start at the 55 because of the 15-yard penalty. Jake Mayer throws to Eugene Lewis for 40 yards. It's about time. So then Jake Mayer throws to Eugene Lewis for 40 yards to Edmonton 15, tackled by Trey Ford. And he had a 44-yard field goal. Save. Jake Mayer throws to Daniel Ednaboye for 3 yards to Edmonton 12. To Blanco with the tackle. So I will be. Oh, wrong one. So I will be doing Thursday's game. I will be doing Friday's game, and I will be doing Saturday's game on the channel. Mayer throws to Eugene Lewis, incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd and 7 at Edmonton 12. 3-minute warnings coming up. Jake Mayer is now... So Cody Fajardo's 22 for 32, 257 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 carries for 11 yards. Jake Mayer's 17 for 29, 172. So here's the thing, Scott, is you say, agree, Eugene Lewis is the big name that is all for nothing. So up until that point, because I wrote it down, So let's take a look at the receiving. So up until that point, that was a 40-yard catch. He was 2 for 8 for 7 yards. And you also have Justin Hardy, 1 for 3 for 8 yards. If you want to win games in the CFL, your big name players have to be getting you yards and touchdowns. I honestly think because Edmonton or Ottawa's on a bye next week, I think when they play Toronto in 2 weeks, I honestly think that you could see Drew Brown playing because, man, the Jake Maier has not been doing well at all. But 21, 20, so every year since 21, they have missed the playoffs. So just think, after tonight, Edmonton's going to be first in the West. And it's funny because I was just mentioning Hardy, and look at that. Jake Maier throws to Justin Hardy on 3rd and 7 for a touchdown. Redblacks. Touchdown. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Touchdown. So it will make it a 9-point game. Or an 8-point game. Ooh, did they go for 2 points? Ooh, they went for 2 points and they got the 2-point convert. Keelan White gets the 2 points. What do I have them at? Okay. If you know, games aren't over until that clock reaches 0. After what we've already seen this week so far. What do we got here? Lothar kicks 64 yards to Edmonton 16. Leak returns it for 21 yards to Edmonton 37. Connors tackles them out of bounds. Ooh, Vegas is winning 3-0. Who has the goals? Marner has his 9th from McNabb. Marner has his 8th from Carlson and Theodore. And Hurdle has his 5th from Eichel and Marner. So Marner has 3 points tonight. He's going to be my choice for Conn Smythe. I'm telling you guys right now. Justin Rankin with a loss of 4 yards to Edmonton 33. So it's 2nd and 14. 2:46 left in the fourth. If they shut them down right here, they're only down by 8 points. Fajardo throws incomplete to Austin Mack. So they would need a touchdown and another 2-point convert to tie this game. So Julian punts 56 yards to the 21. Pendleton returns it for 11 yards. And there's 2:13 left in the fourth quarter. Jake Mayer throws to Adna Boye for a 1-yard loss. So it's 2nd and 11. So Edmonton's going to play away where they all stand far back so you don't give up anything behind you. And Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Keelan White. So it's 3rd and 11 at Ottawa 31. Mayer could have had an interception right there, and he dropped it. Getman punts 57 yards to Edmonton 22. League returns 13 yards to Edmonton 35. Um, 217 yards between the two teams. Rankin rushes for 2-yard loss to Edmonton 33. Got a minute 41 left. So it's going to be 2nd and 12. Fajardo throws to Rankin for 9 yards to the Edmonton 42, but he will not get the first down. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 at the Edmonton 42. Revis with the tackle. So a minute 32 left. Ooh, and almost blocked that punt. Julian punts for 49 yards. Pimpleton returns it for 17 to the Ottawa 36. Minute 21 left to go. Ooh, just missed it by an inch. And that could have been ugly. Jake Mayer throws to Eberhardt for 12 yards to Ottawa 48. Jake Mayer throws to Eberhardt for 5 yards to the Edmonton. Ottawa 53. It's going to be 2nd and 5. A minute 5 with 8 points to tie. Oh, that pass was almost intercepted. That's twice now that they've blown interceptions. Jake Mayer throws incomplete to Keelan White. And it's turnover on downs. The game is going to be over once they go into victory formation. I always thought that third downs are always automatic review. Rankin rushes for 1 yard loss to the Ottawa 54. "29 seconds. "23 seconds left. Marner scores his 3rd goal of the night. from Hurdle, so he has his 10th of the playoffs. Objectionable conduct on the Elks bench. Austin Mack rushes for a 37-yard loss. Oh, he's just trying to kill time. That will go down as the worst rush. Even though I get that the clock was at 0, it's going to show up on the stat sheet as a minus 37. Ranking for 196 yards all-purpose tonight. So my question is, does that 37-yard loss are they going to put that on there or no? I don't see it yet, but I'm curious throughout the night if they're going to put it on there for that 37-yard loss. But let's see if So Bo's in second place with passing yards, even though Alexander has 2 touchdowns, but he has 87.2% completion. So we'll have to see how well he does next week. But secondly, as of right now, he's second in yards. What do we got for rushing? I'm curious. Oops, that's not what I want. I want rushing. Oliveira with 113. Mills with 112. Because today's game's not up yet. Roundtree at 23. That has to get better. Vernon Adams with 48. Shamari Lawrence, rookie for Montreal. It's funny because if you go and play 2026 college football 26, Shamari Lawrence is in that game with Missouri State. What do we got for receiving right now before they add this stats in? Snead with 163, so he's almost, I'd say 70 yards from the next person. And they play Toronto next week. When's their bye? They don't have a bye until week 5. So this is the one that I'm going to. This one right here. And then I'm hoping to get back in time. This one I'll have to listen to in my car. But I'm hoping to get back for this one right here. This one I'll have to listen to in my car. I'll be at this one. This one I'll be seeing the night before. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by for today's live stream. Don't forget, I'll be back on Thursday with another one. I have to do my review of the Hamilton game from Thursday night, still this weekend. And then Wednesday, my preview for Thursday's game will be out. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by. JD Power, thank you for your support on the channel. Scott Waite 7789, thank you for your support as well. Very much appreciated. I haven't heard from Dan, Adam, or Jacob if they're doing a post game. Do check their socials if they're going to be doing a post game. If they do, I will be on there as well. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by, and have yourself a great rest of your evening.